Good evening, K-Squid listeners. Good evening, Santa Cruz, Monterey, Central Coast, and beyond. My name's Luigi Opido, owner-operator of Pleasure Point Computers right by the beach here in beautiful Santa Cruz, California. And for the next hour, I'm your tour guide into a world of wonder, magic, information, and a lot of frustration. That's right. We're talking about the internet and the world of computing. I am your computer man. Welcome to one of the most helpful, friendly tech counters, you've ever visited. Welcome. I'd like to welcome you to your local radio station, your local KSQD Santa Cruz, K-Squid, 90.7 FM, also on at 89.5 and 89.7 FM, and always online at ksqd.org, as well as our beautiful app, the amazing app that we have over at the KSQD at the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. You can download it anytime, and I see the phone lines are already ringing. We're going to be starting that in just a second here, so I can actually get on with you, caller, if you'd like. Let's just take it. Yeah, we'll see what's going on with that. But yes, welcome to your station, your local radio station. For the next hour, we're going to be doing calls into computers, talk shows, all sorts of things going on, and I'll put them on hold. We'll go through my intro, and then we'll be there in just a minute. So caller, if you're calling in, 831-900-5773. I'm going to get you in just a moment. We'll be there in just a second. As for what we're going to be doing today, a lot of things going on, a lot of current events that I want to get through. Of course, your calls, 831-900-5773, and all the stuff that's going on. But if you want to really dive into it before we get into everything today, I'd like to first draw your attention to our amazing website, which is one of the reasons why we're here today. We basically just hit 7 years. Woohoo! Our birthday was just in the last few days, and 7 years, crazy, incredible thing. So. With that, I wanted to bring you over to the KSQD website, ksqd.org, and with that website, you can hit our amazing donate button right there, which allows us to keep going, keep doing all our things, but also the listening tab. You can listen to any of our shows for the last 2 weeks. If you got the last part of the last show and you're like, oh man, I really wish I would have listened to the first part of that, no problem. ksqd.org, listening tab, 2-week audio archive, boom. There's all of our shows, all the shows that are broadcasting everywhere for the last 2 weeks here on ksqd.org. And of course, if you want to hit any more of the old Computer Man shows, we have our podcast up on a number of podcasting services. In fact, I just looked up to see where people are streaming from, and they're streaming from services I didn't even know I was being cross-posted in, so that's pretty cool. But if you do under the Apple Podcast, you can find them definitely there. That's where we most likely upload most of them, I believe, and that is just, again, just search for the Computer Man Show, and you can download it from any of your podcasting services and have them on your phone or listen to them later or whatever you like to do. Okay. If you'd like to reach out to me after the show, Luigi, Luigi, at pleasurepointcomputers with an s.com. A lot of people are doing it. Love it. Always good to hear from people out there and see what's going on and see what people are asking about and see what people are really into, because I want to make sure I bring you the information that you want. I kind of know a lot of this stuff here and there, and I don't know what people are kind of into, and I kind of try to follow the trends, but I love hearing from you. So again, Luigi at pleasurepointcomputers.com. You can always hit me up there, email. While we're on the air, 831-900-5773. And we're here every Tuesday to talk about updates, new devices, testimonials, scams, and most importantly, what's going on with your stuff, your calls, and your data and your devices. Again, 6 to 7 p.m. here every Tuesday. Let's do it. 831-900-5773. Those phone lines are open. Let's rock and roll. All right, let's get into it here. So I want to start with some of the scams I've been seeing lately, and a lot of the scams are pretty much exactly the same, but let's get right into it. There's a very persistent phone call that's coming in. Hello, you're on the air with the Computer Man. How can I help you?
Hi there. I sent you a email and you answered it about backup stuff for my Mac.
Okay. Yeah.
And I appreciated your answer. Basically, my question, I guess, is more about Time Machine and on the Mac.
Okay.
And or whether there are other alternative softwares that you recommend to use for backup.
Yes.
It's because I wonder about Time Machine, because doesn't it just save things that can be restored like as a whole system? Like, can you actually go into the backups and grab files out of them?
Yes, you can.
How does that work?
Yeah, it's actually really cool. So it's a little bit of a different system because of the way that it does work, but it works really well. It's one of the things that actually Apple has not messed up. I cannot believe it, and I knock on wood every time I say that, because I think I'm going to come into work tomorrow and Time Machine will be messed up because it works that well. Two ways to work. One way is, you plug in your hard drive, and what it'll do is it'll make a backup of the machine every hour for a day, every day for a week, every week for a month, making the backups like we normally do, incremental backups. And it'll do that with files, it'll do that with settings, it'll do that with icon placement, anything that the machine has, any system placement, anything in the Unix operating environment inside that operating system. Now, what you can do is then, if you say, oh gosh, This file is gone. I deleted it. I accidentally deleted it and I emptied my trash bin. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my gosh, it's gone. I need to go get that from my time machine. So what you can do is you can literally enter the time machine, and it starts up a little application that kind of gives you like this little animation that kind of is supposed to give you the idea. You jump in and you can go back to a date that file existed. Go into the folder where it's supposed to be. There it is. You grab the file. You can drag it out literally of that space and drop it onto your desktop, drop it into a folder, and you've got that file pulled out of your backup.
Without restoring your machine.
Exactly. Without restoring the entire thing. Yes.
Got it. Okay. So that is doable.
Yes.
And is there any other like modes of backup that are different on Time Machine that do it more as just sort of like backing up a certain folder or picking and choosing? Or is it just always sort of an all backing up everything?
Yes, it's always a backup everything, and that's, I think, to minimize phone calls to Apple, etc. Now you can go third party like Acronis or any. I really like Acronis. I think that's one I actually sent to you, or I was going to start sending it to you, but I saw you had Macs. So I started to talk about Time Machine and kind of ended it. But with Acronis,
Acronis is one that I saw, but I haven't tried that yet.
Okay, Acronis is a little more complicated and it's a little bit more convoluted when getting your things there and back, but it works, and it works very well. It also does incremental backups. It also will do only the backups that you want if you want. If you only wanted to back up a folder and not take up your hard drive with everything else, you can do that. Or just back up your files. Or you can make an entire system backup in case the entire machine goes in the water. You get a whole new drive. You can back up the entire system. So it's a very you can organize it and do it the way that you want it to do. You want to configure it the way that you want, and you can do and you can keep a certain amount of incremental backups. You can have up to 25 or 100, or just do the last 3. But it's more configurable. Now for Mac, I have not used it on a Mac because Time Machine does everything that I need it to do for client retrieval and everything like that. But for another type of program, also to pull a file out of that might be more difficult depending on how you have the backup. What I would do at that point would be I would set up multiple backup schemes, which I normally do with PCs. One, I would make an entire image backup of the entire computer, like maybe once a month, and then I would do incremental backups, let's say once a week or however often the client wanted to. And that way I could pull individual files out if I wanted, or if the entire machine went to dirt, then I could just restore the entire machine as of like the last month.
Okay. Last question on it all then would be, I have a network drive that's attached to, it's wired to the modem.
Yes.
And then we access it through Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Is that backupable through Time Machine as well?
So yes. Now that I would say yes, based on the way that you see it inside of your Mac. If you go to a website and then attach and then get into the files like that and attach it that way, no, that will not be done that way. But if you have like a network attached drive or a mapped drive,
it's attached. It comes up. You go into Connect It server and you see it. On the left side there and
on your desktop,
and the desktop.
Okay.
Or in the Finder. And then enter the password, and then you're there. So that sounds like you should be able to do that, to back that up.
Yes, but you would most likely have to log into the drive, double click on it, sign into the password, and have it be live, and then manually start your Time Machine backup, because the drive is the program is going to go and go, okay, just pull from all the places it's asking. Oh, this drive is on the list. Okay, let's go over to the drive. Do you have access? Nope. Okay, I can't get to it. Okay, I'm going to skip it. Next, I go to the other thing. But if you do,
make sure you're logged in. Yeah.
Yes.
So what I did before was I would use the Intego software that came with my Lacy drive. I know you don't recommend those.
Yeah, they're expensive and they fail.
How I would back up that network drive to an attached drive, and then I would back everything up with Time Machine.
That's a great idea.
It seemed like it worked okay. But the only thing was that this time around, the newer Intego software didn't seem as good, and they were asking for more money, and it's kind of like didn't look quite as good. And then I was thinking about Kronos.
Okay.
Kronos?
Acronis.
Yeah. So maybe Kronos is something for me to check out in that realm if I want to do it that way.
Okay. And there's an A at the front, just for your own spelling, just so you can find it. It's Acronis, Acronis. I say Acronis. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but it's just a weird word, just to make sure you don't get something else.
Yeah, I might have seen something else, actually.
Okay.
So I'll make sure I'm looking at Acronis. Acronis.
Acronis, like
Acronis.
yes.
Got it. Okay.
And if you go, so if Western Digital
Yeah.
Drives, if you get the Western Digital Drives comes with a free download of Acronis, comes with that $150 super suite of Acronis.
Okay.
So if you get any Western Digital, they don't even advertise it anymore with that. But if you do a Google search Western Digital Acronis, it'll take you to the Acronis page for Western Digital, and then what it'll do is it'll download Acronis and it checks to see if your drive is Western Digital. And if it is, then it goes, oh, here you go. Here's a full-blown software suite for Acronis, and I will back up to any Western Digital drive using it. You don't have to spend $150 on the software.
Okay, good to know. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, well, thanks a million. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. The other thing,
Yeah.
just before you go, heads up. We're going
Yeah.
to talk about it a little bit later in the show. Heads up when you go and look at some hard drive prices. You are going to make sure you're sitting down.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that on the show before, that they're going up a lot right now.
It's insane. It's
Yeah.
like literally. I'm actually like looking at business models and going like, what am I going to do this next year? It is crazy. Like the RAM that I had in my cart that was $299 in December is now $12.99 today in my cart. That's not right.
Why is that?
The AI data centers and preemptive buying. All these companies are buying all the memory. Western Digital sold out of all their hard drive space for this year, and Micron has sold out all their RAM. They're not even running a customer side this entire year. They've shut down their entire customer front just because they've sold out all the RAM for the entire year for preemptive data centers that don't exist that none of us want.
So it's like supply and demand. There's just too many people. They're eating up all the.
Yeah, it's those three companies eating each other. You know, it's kind of like OpenAI is eating from NVIDIA, who's eating from Microsoft, who's eating from OpenAI. It's kind of round the triangle. Yeah.
That's not good.
No, it is not. We're going to see some weird stuff this year and see a couple companies go under. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be a bloodbath.
Right. Wow. Okay. Well, hey, thank you so much.
You're welcome. I appreciate the call.
Yeah.
And email me if you have any questions or you get stuck with the drive, or if you find something else too. I'm also curious if there's always new software that I haven't seen. If there's something out there that you see that's really good, throw it my way. We'd love to hear about it.
Okay, great. I'll do that. Okay.
Appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Have a great night.
You too. Bye-bye.
That leaves the phone lines open for you here at 831-900-5773. That's 831-900-KSQD. See what we did there? Pretty cool. I can remember it. But first, actually, I've got Nyanko in the studio with me, which I am always stoked to have them in here. And there's always some news or something going on. Or Nyanko, welcome.
Well, it's the what is this? The year of the fire horse.
Yes,
this is. I think this is the official day. So when we say "Gung Hei Fat Choi,"
today
is the Lunar New Year, I believe. I believe so, anyway. And so, yes, February 17th. Yes.
Okay.
Indeed.
Happy
Lunar New Year to you.
Happy to you. Gung Hei Fat Choi. Awesome.
Here we go. So, no, I've been kind of listening to what you were talking about there, and I'm glad that I stockpiled hard drives. I actually bought all these mechanical hard drives, and I thought, I'm going to just return them to Costco or whatever. I bought them. And now I'm having second thoughts about that, because now you can't even buy hard drives if you wanted to on Costco, I believe. And,
right, they've shut it down.
And then I saw the prices of the PC builds that they have at Costco.
Yes.
And then I heard a story that people are actually stealing the GPUs and the RAM out of the display machines.
Yes. I talked to the guy that works at our local Costco, and he says he's always making sure that they're playing videos on them, so that if they walk by and the video has stopped, that they can see it really quick. But they've got them banded. Absolutely. And I check out the Costco prices, because that's one of the things I do after the show. I just go over and do our family shopping, and I look at the prices of these machines every week. And I was floored last week by those desktop prices. I mean, the minimum one is like $12.99. They have like a $3,100 machine over there right now. It's sad.
Yeah, and then friends come to me and says, "Hey, I need a new computer," and I go, "This is the absolute worst time to buy a computer." And if you're real serious about it, buy a Mac. That's basically what I say, because the Macs are the only things that are really on sale. Those are the ones that, and there's new models coming out.
Right.
I think they're making an announcement. What is it? March 4th, I think?
Yeah, it's coming up.
And they're probably going to have MacBook Airs in many different colors. And so, yeah, hold out for that because you'll get more bang for the buck for sure.
It's real. I mean, a lot of these machines are being made kind of to order almost right now. They're being made quickly, and they're being made within the last 3 months. And so if they're doing that, we're in the slump here. Got a caller calling in. Let's jump on real quick. Let's see what's going on in the real world. Hello, you're on with the Computer Man and Nyanko. How can I help you?
Yes. Thank you for taking my call, Luigi, and Happy Lunar New Year. It is, in fact, Happy Lunar New Year Day today.
Yes, it is. Happy Lunar New Year to you. Gang hei fat choi.
All right. I'm calling about an issue of privacy and security.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I'll let you. I will just briefly relate what happened to me when I was interacting with Google's Gemini AI.
Okay.
So I had come across an obscure quotation.
Okay.
And I had it listed on a file on my computer, and there was no citation. No, I couldn't tell who was the author, who said it, whatever. So I had taken the quote and I had put it into the Google Gemini.
Okay.
Okay. So it came back and it said, well, this is a quote from a Bob Dylan liner notes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Bob Dylan album liner notes. All right. So that was fine. And it asked for if I wanted more information about this album and what Dylan had to say and what it meant. I said, sure. Okay, it gave me that. And so then it said, this is just like you wrote to a certain author. I won't mention his name, but I had written to this author of a book, and this was an email. And I was kind of taken back because I didn't know how the Gemini AI knew I had written to this author.
Yes.
So I said, I asked, I said, how did you know that I wrote to this author about his book on a certain subject?
Mm-hmm.
And the book was on a certain poet.
Okay.
And the Gemini AI came back and said, I apologize, I'm quoting, I apologize for the confusion. I actually don't have access to your private emails or messages. When I mentioned your interest in said author and his book, I was drawing on the connection based on the specific quote you asked about. And again, I said, but that's really odd that you knew. And it said, it's completely fair and slightly unsettling catch. And reiterated, I want to be 100% direct with you. I do not have access to your private emails, your outbox, or your personal correspondence with said author.
Okay.
And then it said that it just was a lucky guess because the author is the not only the foremost authority on this poet, but on Bob Dylan. So that's the answer I got, and I wanted to know what you think of this.
Yeah. So one of the things that really jumped in my head was the TOSDR.org, terms of service didn't read.org, and one of those things that I read for Google Drive, which is one of the Google services, is that basically that they can scan and look at anything in your Google Drive. Google can anything at all. Gemini is thirsty. All these AIs are incredibly hungry, thirsty. They want information because they want the most information because they want to be able to have the answers that when you're looking for it, they'll be able to give you something, and you won't go to some other AI and use it right now because everyone wants to be the AI. So I think that most likely that it's programmed to say that to give you an unsettled advice, but I bet that again, it might be my tinfoil hat, but I'm pretty sure that there is something in the terms of service that says that your emails are open to be scanned by Google, and that most likely that in some type of loophole somewhere deep down that you will be able to be, that stuff will be able to be scanned and be added to Gemini, and that those things can be linked, and you saw the link and you asked it, and it's like, oh no.
Well, this is what I'm finding on ChatGPT, for instance. It actually remembers things cross sessions now. Mm-hmm. So if you give it specific instructions about how you want it to respond, or you it starts to remember these things across sessions, and so that's, I think, a feature that's going to be emerging in a lot of these engines, these large language models, and the way they're implemented is they'll actually remember things about past conversations, and you'll probably have to expressly tell them not to do that if you don't want that. There's probably settings for that as well, but I've started noticing my ChatGPT is talking to me in a very specific way that I might have configured in a past session, and even though I'm starting a new session, it's addressing me in a particularly peculiar way.
Yeah, it holds on to it. Another thing also is they're using multiple ways in the terms of service to kind of get around these loopholes. Like right now in the Gmail terms of services, they do not have access to your email. It says that all over the place. It doesn't have access to your email, but it does say next to it after that, it says the app required for the service requires broad device permissions. So let's say, the service doesn't go into your email and doesn't read your email. No, of course, we're not going to scan your email. But we might use some third-party service or something like that that might read something, that might be doing something when you're logging your email and reading that, and we'd read that, which would be exactly the same as reading your email. We're just not reading from the email. We're reading from another source that actually has your email that's following it. It could be something weird like that where they're like, yeah, we're getting the data, but we're not going directly to your email. We're just going around the thing and still getting the same data that we want because, our AI is thirsty and wants to eat and read and do everything it can. So that kind of stuff, it's also on the other side when you say, hey, upload a file, make like I always talk about how, make an average of these 5 numbers, and it comes up with something outlandish. You're like, hey, ChatGPT, or hey, AI, why did you give me those numbers? Like, you caught me. I couldn't actually open up that file, so I just made up some numbers for you. Sorry. And it's a yes man. It wants to please, right? So, but at the same time, is it reading your stuff? That via the terms of service, it's not. But dude, there's some weird stuff going on right now. There's no regulations, so all bets are off.
I check my custom instructions on my ChatGPT, and there's nothing there. Yet it's behaving in a very custom, very specific way that it shouldn't be doing. Yeah. Absolutely no way. It can happen unless it's picking up things from previous sessions.
And the sky's the limit right now. It's completely the Wild West, like beyond when we were starting with the internet right now, because there's anti-regulations right now to regulate this stuff. There's the positive thing is to just let it run rampant and see how we do, to make sure that we can make all the breakthroughs that we want right now. So yes, the things that we're seeing, it could be everywhere, and you can ask it and say, oh, no, that's not what's happening, but it absolutely could be happening, but there's no way to know. So grain of salt it, yeah.
Well, it could have been on the author's end. He may have shared it with some, Google or something. I don't know.
That's true too. Sure.
But I don't have. I do have Gmail, which is Google related. But I didn't send it. I sent it on a private. My private. I have a Crucio email, and I sent it on that. Unless Crucio is somehow sharing my emails, I don't know. But anyway. It could be, maybe just to inform you, in order to proceed to get more information, I was asked if I wanted to set it up with what they called Google Workspace, and I answered yes.
Okay.
So I don't know if Google Workspace makes a difference, but I did do the rest of the chat on Google Workspace with the AI. The other thing, and your partner there mentioned about the way the AI interacts, which leads to my question. When I signed off, the AI said, well, if you need further information, I'd be happy to continue this conversation. And it was really an interesting conversation. I really got hooked.
Okay, right, yeah.
Yeah. So is AI are there separate AIs or it's one entity? How do I know if I go back, I'm getting the same AI? Will it remember the conversation?
Oh, so yes, it will, and it depends on, like, if you're talking to AI within your Google Workspace, that would be Gemini. If you're talking to it in X, that would be Grok. If you're talking to it on a ChatGPT program, that's using ChatGPT's program. So just like how we all use the same road with different brands of cars, same idea. So you're getting into the ChatGPT car and using that, or you're getting into the Gemini car and you're using that to use the same roadway that is the internet to have that traveling. So yeah, if you use Gemini over and over and over again, you're going to be it most likely will remember what you've asked. If you're using it from the same computer with the same login, yes, it will. Now, if you take, if you go to the library and do a Google search, and ask it a question, of course, it's going to be on a different machine with a different login, so it's not going to remember what your conversation was. But if you do something very weird and very specific and ask it something very specific and then go to another machine and ask it that same specific question, it may remember something from that because you're asking the same hive brain. Does that make any sense?
Absolutely, yeah. That is the case, and there is a chat history, so you can resume any number of your chats, whether you're on Gemini or whether you're on ChatGPT. You can just simply revisit that conversation. Now, say maybe you're using AI chat on Google without being logged in or whatever, and that one's different. I don't know that one will actually save the chat, but if you're actually in gemini.google.com or on ChatGPT, you can jump right back into a conversation you were having previously, and it's keeping track of all these different conversations that you're having with the chatbot. And of course, once you reach the kind of the maximum capacity of the chat, it ends basically. It says, well, I can't store any more information. Start a new chat, essentially.
Yeah, you get like a buffer space, like a public storage unit. You have your own little 3x5 space, and as soon as you fill it up, then it's like, hey, we got to start something new.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really well informed about it now. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Great question. Always good to hear from you. Thank you so much for the call.
Staying on the subject of AI. And also the fact that this is the Lunar New Year, there's ByteDance with the C Dance. That's SEE Dance 2.0. I don't know if you've seen any of the demo reels or any of the influencer videos.
My goodness.
Good grief. I actually saw one of the demo clips of Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise fighting about the Epstein files, having a brawl. And, good grief. The actors really no longer have a say in these things anymore.
Right.
You can you bring back Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan, and you can have just the epic battles between all of them.
Yeah, against Tupac.
It's just, or against Tupac.
Yeah,
I've seen all sorts of interesting battles. I've seen 2D mixed with 3D. I've seen all manner of things. This stuff is just flooding the internet now, social media, just many clips created using this C Dance 2.0, the physics on it,
it's incredible.
The character move, or the way the actors, these AI actors move. It's so realistic.
Yeah.
The water, rain, a lot of it, behaves correctly. It's getting to the point where, before AI was very dreamlike. You'd make your prompt, and it was very, very straight. This is Hollywood quality.
Yeah,
surpasses Hollywood quality in some ways, because it surpasses what is possible in the real world.
We're approaching this strange time right now where the media we're gonna get flooded with media. I mean, they're talking about with authors. Amazon has restricted authors to posting 3 books a day. So you can only publish 3 books a day if you wanted to. And you're sitting there going like, how in the world?
As if that was a problem before.
Right? And so people are just throwing and they're doing it for like $1 a piece. Here's a book that I wrote from some AI prompt that's $1 a piece. Boom, here's a book. And 3, and it's at the point where the writers won't want to write anymore because the publishers aren't going to be buying it because they're going to be flooded with all this AI stuff. It's a very unique time right now.
It is unique. And I'm on Reddit. I'm very active on Reddit. And as many listeners might know, they might see my posts on there and like them or not. I do post AI content from time to time. And it's so much so that the local Santa Cruz subreddit has officially now, as of today, I think, added a flare. You have to, if you upload or post, any AI-related content, you have to indicate that it is AI,
Okay.
or you're breaking the rules.
Okay.
And that way, people, can choose not to see those posts, because some people really have objections to the AI. We had a story in the Good Times weeks back about Atlantis Fantasy World and the
artwork on the cover. I saw that
the
whole blow
author.
up. Yes.
Yeah, the author of the article used some generative AI tools. They're of course also using Photoshop. They're using their own creative talents, but people called them out on Reddit. There was just a heated discussion about how much people just hated it, and yeah, you could look at the image. I thought aesthetically it looked pretty okay to me until you look at the fine details, and you can see the AI hallucinations and glitches and whatnot.
And I think that struck a chord because it was celebrating a comic book shop,
Absolutely.
and celebrating artists and stuff. And so it was
Absolutely.
a very unique way of the contention flared in such a way that it was fascinating to see, because yes, that is what the problem is. It was all packaged in this one little thing. Like, is an AI tool really art? Are artists using AI that actually creating art? But this, again, you were saying it was AI elements matched with Photoshop and all these things, but then to do it for a comic book shop, it was neat. I mean, so I was on the outside of it. It was fascinating to watch that unfold and see what people were saying.
I made the same mistake myself. We had interviewed an author, Giles Porteus, who wrote a number of books on traveling Japan and on anime and manga. And I made the mistake to use an AI to generate a caricature of himself surrounded by familiar anime characters. And yeah, right away his fans of his work called me out for doing that and for not running it past him first. And yeah, so we had to change the artwork, which is the right thing to do. And yeah, so I made that same mistake, and it's a mistake. It's a choice now, basically, to use AI or not to use AI, and it's unescapable.
It is, and the people posting things when they do have when they're being accused of AI artwork, they're like, "Look, I've got photos of myself setting up all the line work. I'm not an artist myself, but like to do like when they set up the circles to make the face and all the different shapes and stuff. And they're like, look here, proof. Here it is. It's not AI. Back off.
We shouldn't have to as artists, as creatives, we shouldn't have to prove our case, but that's kind of what people are asking us to do now. And I have done all kinds of interesting creative work with AI, including a particular musical piece that's floating around in social media called "The Mayor of the Surveillance State," which I used one of those AI music generating tools to generate a song. I co-wrote it with AI and created, which took a lot of work too, to assemble all the visuals, those things. And
a lot of times
it was
it's not turnkey
hours
like
and
that.
hours of work. The song itself, the AI cranked it out in like under a minute. But and that's in itself is very hurtful, I think, to recording artists, that they pour their heart and soul into to what they create, the music they create, and here AI can just simply regurgitate the world of music into a song that you've prompted the machine to create for you, and it sounds like this polished studio recorded piece of music. And so
and we're 3 years in.
Yeah.
Let's take a call real quick. You want to take a call with me? See what's going on real quick before we go to break here. Hello, caller. You're on the air with the Computer Man. How can I help you?
Hi.
Hey.
Am I on the air?
You are on the air. Welcome to the show.
Guys, it's Carl, Wednesday morning board op, nuisance, etc. I just wanted to point out, since we're making cultural notes about Gung Hei Fat Choi, by the way.
Yes.
Laissez les bon temps rouler. It's Fat Tuesday as well. Mardi
Hey.
Gras.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Quite a day.
That somehow
What a-
slipped my mind. Thank you for
Cultural
that.
mix master. Keep up the
Absolutely.
good work, guys. Love
Thank
it.
you.
Bye.
Love it. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
That's rad. That's awesome. I want to learn that phrase. Fat Tuesday, Lunar New Year. That's great. Let's go to break real quick, real fast one, just to get our all the important things going on here at K-Squid and KSQD. Check out our website. Of course, click on that donate button at the very top. Keep it going. Keep it reoccurring. And let's stick around for another 2 or 3 minutes here. We're going to be back with the Computer Man Show here on KSQD Santa Cruz, K-Squid 90.7 FM, and online at ksqd.org. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. All right, we're going to come back with the Computer Man Show here on KSQD Santa Cruz, K-Squid 90.7 FM, and online at ksqd.org. Oh, Nyanko, dude, you're funny, man. That's great stuff. We're just talking about we were actually just discussing where we want to go. There's so many things going on right now of where, of what we could talk about. And of course, phone numbers 831-900-5773 if you want to jump in on it. Yeah, let's talk Waymo. Let's talk about Waymo.
Well, they're getting stuck in the brain when areas are flooding in Southern Cal, or the cars kind of freak out. They just stop in the middle of the road, and then they impede the flow of traffic. And in some cases, they make the right decision and they stop and they don't enter a flooded area. In other cases, they drive right into the area, and then there's a passenger in there, and the car is stuck in the middle of a flooded road. And I actually was banned from the Waymo subreddit because I was kind of making fun of it, making light of these predicaments, and they called me a Luddite and banned me.
That's so
and so yeah, good grief. And so but it seems like there's always a new story practically every day now about something silly that Waymos do. It's kind of like funny things that they do. It's like, I'm sure somebody must be making some money with all these funny little clips of the
there's
Waymos.
so many all over there of them either malfunctioning or people jumping on them or the there's that whole article the other day about the auto driving isn't actually auto driving, it's someone in Thailand or something like that, or Philippines driving the car for you instead, and you're like, okay, actually, to be honest, that actually sounds a little better than just some autonomous thing. So it's but we're doing new stuff. We're trying new technologies. We're doing things that we've never done before, and so we're gonna have a lot of weird results. And especially when we're just throwing at everything and anything at the wall like we are right now. We're gonna see some weird stuff. We're just seeing what sticks with AI right now and with all these different systems. So, but yeah, the Waymo stuff. Oh, I laugh because I don't have to deal with it. I don't have to take a Waymo home when it's raining. Going like, oh my gosh, am I gonna get stuck in the middle of an intersection for an hour because the thing just decides to stop? It's tasty. It's tasty stuff. And also the food delivery carts down in LA too.
Oh yeah,
that's really entertaining as well.
They're just going down, falling down the stairs and doing all kinds of silly things, getting hit by a train, by one of the commuter trains, and those things are pretty silly too. And but yeah, if you want to see some fun, interesting stuff, definitely check out that Waymo subreddit and just see the kind of trouble these cars are getting into because they were not designed to operate in environments where there's flooding or in environments where there's potential connectivity issues.
Right, they are not a boat, and they don't have a very good antenna, and it's getting it's in an area where it's just flooded with signal. I mean, like if you go downtown to Santa Cruz, you try to download something on your phone, you're going to experience on heavy days it's going to go slow. And why is that? It's because the towers are flooded. There's too many people on a single tower for that amount of area. And if you could think of what like LA is like when everyone's trying to do stuff on their phones and stuff, and then to have an entire taxi fleet, hopefully on a cellular net connection or whatever they're doing with their connection, it's fascinating. There's also the Chinese ones that are like food delivery trucks that are actually pretty large, and they're running into fresh concrete, and they're mowing down sidewalks, and like there's one where there was had a scooter stuck underneath it, dragging its way down the street. Oh, hilarious! Sounds like we might have another caller calling in. Yeah, sounds good over here. All right, let's do it. All right, let's jump on with the phone here and let's see what else is going on out in the real world. We've got some great calls today. Let's see what else is going on. Hello, you're on with the Computer Man. How can I help you?
Hey, Luigi, how are you, man?
Hey, doing well, man. How are you?
Pretty good. Listening to the show. I always listen it every Tuesday here on 89.7 in Salinas every time.
That's awesome, dude. I really appreciate you, man. What's going on tonight?
And not much, just listening to the show and stuff. I don't know, like I was listening right now about Waymos and all that stuff. Like to me, I really don't agree with those cars, man. I don't see myself riding in one. I never done it or over in San Francisco or Oakland, but I just don't plan on doing it because it's just I don't trust anything that is with a computer because sometimes computers malfunction and stuff too. So
that's the truth.
I'd rather just take the BART or the Muni bus around San Francisco and I heard that that the mayor that we got, that oligarch Nepo baby, Lurie, he wants to take funding away from public transportation for those Waymos and cruises, and I don't think that's right, man. I think it's much better to have that option of public transportation, like the BART, like the Muni, the
Agreed.
I'm with you.
Totally agree.
And it's just like why are you going to take away all the public transportation, like say the train, like all the public transportation? Like if you start doing that, then you're going to oversaturate more car traffic in the city.
It doesn't make sense. I mean, give me more options. Don't take away my options, especially a public transit option that has an entire infrastructure already built in it that is proven to work.
Yeah, and it's like. Yeah, there's a threat. There's a threat to BART. They're talking about shutting down stations because of the funding issues. If they can't get the funding, BART could cease to exist.
That's amazing to me. BART is. I mean, as a kid, that's all. I mean, BART was amazing. BART was my lifeline to the city. BART is. I can't. I just. It's. It's so frustrating.
It's unthinkable for this.
And waiting for more stations not to take away other stations.
I've gotten on the train there. I've taken the BART from the Berryessa station in San Jose all the way to the Mission District. I took it back in 2023, and it was my first time. Well, it was my second time going in public transportation. I took the trolley from San Diego, from National City down to the Tijuana border. This was like 30 years ago.
Okay.
And this is like my second time doing the public transportation, and I love the BART. I just wish that we could get the Caltrain down to Salinas. We're like about 26 years late. Supposedly we were gonna have the Caltrain in Salinas, but that's not happening because, from what I've heard, is that the county, I don't know, that railroad tracks right there by the Elkhorn Slough by Hall Road right there, that little trestle train track right there.
Yeah, I actually know that really well, actually. Yes, I do.
The Southern Pacific doesn't want to sell that, doesn't want to sell it, and then that's why they're pushing back the train. And I really want the Caltrain so that I don't have to go all the way to San Francisco. I could get it in Salinas, and I could drive. So cool. I could take the train up there to the Bay Area, and I'm not seeing any of this going on. And then now with the dictator we have in power, he wants to take money out of that project, that high-speed rail, man, that's going to connect LA with San Francisco, and he doesn't like that stuff. He says it's a disaster, man.
So that's basically it. You gotta vote. You gotta vote. You gotta get out there and vote.
Hey, I did vote, man.
Nice.
I didn't vote for the dictator. I voted for her, but the dictator won thanks to Project 2025. We're in this mess.
Yeah. Yes. So just I have a stack of those voter registration cards. Hand them out to all your friends. Give them to anybody. Make sure that's just in your things. It's all we can do. Hey man, I got another call coming in. Anything else you wanted to say out to the listeners this week?
I don't know, man. All I could say is power to the people, and make sure we fight for public transportation so that the dictator doesn't take it away.
Yes, sir.
Right on. I'm with you.
With you too, my friend. Fight the power, dude. Bye. Appreciate you. Take care. Thanks for the call, always. All right, Lisa, phone line's open here for you. 831-900-5773. Looks like that caller jumped off. Well, if you want to call back, again, that's our phone number, 831-900-5773. Nyanko, anything else you want to throw out, bud? I mean, we got about another 10 minutes of the show here. I love that you hung out with me the whole show. This is so cool.
Well, so busy.
Yeah.
So many things going on.
Talk about any of this garbage I brought in about Western Digital running out of hard drives?
Yeah, good grief.
Oh my gosh. Or what about our social security numbers all going away? Oh, we got another call again.
Here we go.
Let's see. Maybe this is the caller that was calling before. Hello. You're on with the computer, man. We got about 10 minutes left in the show. How can I help you?
Hi.
Hey.
I like to discuss local politics, if I could.
Sure.
Okay. I just listened to one of your other listeners talk about, wanting to promote mass transit, especially rail transit.
Okay.
In Santa Cruz. I think that's very important moving forward, that we keep the rails and keep the rails alive. Like, even though he lives over the way in Salinas and, there's issues with Southern Pacific Railway wanting to keep their section there. I don't even know if they're using it. But even just a service from, like, right now from Watsonville to Santa Cruz that could drop people off and pick people up, that would be immensely helpful.
It'd be incredible.
For the traffic situation on Highway 1.
Yes.
because there's a lot of people that work in the service industry that work at the boardwalk, they work on Seabright, you know, and
run this town. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, so I think it's very important that people vote that way locally and pay attention to that on their ballot. So unfortunately, it's like we have a mayor right now who's willing to tear up the two railroad tracks to make people who want to ride their bikes happy. So
we definitely have to ask those questions to our candidates. Like,
yes, we
do
do.
you support rail? Because the Greenway folks are gunning for to eliminate our rail here.
Yeah, that pipeline.
They
it'd be so
want to
great.
eliminate their rails so that just a handful of people can ride their bikes to a beer pub so that they can enjoy 3 or 4 pints without having to like go around a few city blocks.
Yeah, it's insane. We have this incredible resource already in the ground. We just need to put, like it's there. Like I just it makes me go crazy when I hear people want to take it out, and for exactly that, just for a few more bikes, we can coexist, everyone. We can do it together. It's right with you, dude.
In the areas where people want to ride their bikes, we can keep the rails, but we can put rubber platforms down so that people can share that particular section. When the trains come, we can throw up signal lights and bar it off so that people are safe. We don't necessarily have to continue a complete rail and trail. Like some of the trail can just go right alongside the ocean.
Yeah.
And there was this, there was this rail aficionado. He likes to ride abandoned railways, and there's a beautiful 1 hour long YouTube feature. Look it up. Just do Santa Cruz Railroad.
It's like a rail cart, right?
The rail cart guy, yeah.
Yes.
He's got a little fox cart.
Yes.
And him and his son, they rode the entire rail all the way from Watsonville to Santa Cruz.
Wow.
It's one of the most scenic, beautiful, and if anybody that hates the rail and wants to tear it up for a trail or something like that, they need to watch this video first.
Perfect.
Before they have an opinion.
It's like you get your ballot and you have to like, sorry, you can't vote until you watch the video. It's like now you have to sit down an hour, you have to watch this. That would be rad. Good.
But we'll just watch it. It's just so entertaining. I mean, it's an hour long. You can do your dishes, you can do your laundry to it, and it's one of the most beautiful, most picturesque rails in the entire world. And I would hate to see it torn up just so that bikes can have a shorter route.
Completely agree.
Thank you for your call.
Yeah, thank you.
So appreciated.
Yeah, that is
You're welcome.
Huge. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, all right, man. Take care. Thanks for listening. All right, and again, that leaves the phone lines open for you. About another 7 minutes or so here. 831-900-5773. So important. I mean, just please, people, vote. If it shows up in your mailbox, just please vote. Because the people who are out there wanting to do this stuff, wanting to get rid of that stuff, wanting to take it away from you, they are voting. They're out there in troves trying to take away this stuff, and we've the people who want to keep these things, we got to raise our voice too. So vote, please. All right, well, let's see. I don't want to talk about Discord. Let's see what we got here. There was something else I want to talk about. Oh, what about this whole thing where Reddit, Meta, and Google are voluntarily giving DHS info on anti-ICE users and stuff? What's up with that? Have you heard about that?
Certainly, I've heard of it,
okay.
but I don't know the details.
Okay, so it said, I guess it was unlike a court order subpoena. The these administrative subpoenas are initiated directly by DHS, and they're going towards Meta, which is Oren's Facebook and Instagram. It's going towards Reddit, which is Reddit and everyone on Reddit, and then it's also with Google. I mean, so if you're on there, if you post anything that's maybe, I don't know, like just talking maybe negatively about DHS or negatively about ICE because it's a negative thing, then you could be put on just flagged, or what is this? This is crazy. It says according to the reporting by the New York Times, Reddit, Meta, and Google voluntarily complied with some of the requests, turning over identifying user information. They said that at least some of the companies are saying they're notifying users when the data is sought after and giving them roughly 2 weeks to challenge the subpoena in court before they hand it over, unless they're just legally barred from warning them. Then they just won't. So that's creepy. That's super creepy. But on the other side, though, Ring canceled its partnership with Flock. I think that was because everyone saw that tons of people came at me with that Super Bowl ad with the puppy thing. Like, oh, find the puppy. You're like, I'm sorry. Do you know the political climate that you're giving that ad in right now, where you can turn on all the cameras in a neighborhood and find a puppy? Yeah, puppy. That's exactly what they're looking for with that system, right? So Ring canceled its partnership with Flock Safety. There was a surveillance backlash, it says. Evidently, there was it's just public backlash between privacy and surveillance concerns. The integration was announced late last year, but never launched, and no customer videos or data were ever shared with Flock, but they have since dissolved that because Ring is trying to save face right now at this point because people are just taking their cameras and, well, I mean, I think you should take your camera and get rid of it because you're part of the world's largest privately held security network that's ever existed.
Yes. And so remember your ballot this year. There's somebody on the ballot that is pro surveillance.
That's right. And your devices, watch what you're buying. If you're buying a security system for your home, where is that being stored? Just think about it for a second. We used to have DVRs in our homes. We used to have I used to install these little night owl systems that literally were cameras that plug into a box that sits in your bedroom that records on that hard drive, and it's so complicated to get online you can't. So they don't go online. Everything's local. But now it's not that way. Now it is not that way. The video is not stored locally. When they say, "Oh, this Nancy Guthrie lady that got abducted or whatever," "Oh, it took us forever to get the data out of the system." Da 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 da. It's that's just because they had to find the right servers back in the. I mean, it's not on the device, and that's what's so creepy about this stuff. You don't have control of that data. You don't have control of the data. You don't have the control. And when people put those cameras in their living rooms and things like that, I just don't, man. Just don't. It's or go watch 1984. Read the book. It's the last time anyone's read 1984. If you've read that book recently, you will think twice about putting any of this stuff in your home, or just around it, or you'll just think twice about the brands you choose. So, I've got about 3 minutes, Nyanko. Anything else you want to throw out there at anybody? Anything important that they should know about?
No, just watch out for AI.
If you have any RAM, or if you have any hard drives, or you have anything that any type of computer components, check out what they might be worth now, because RAM is going through the roof. Hard drive components are going through the roof. If you're looking at upgrading your computer, right now is a very difficult time to do that. And if you're looking for refurbished, now also might be a little difficult. So if you can, hold on to your electronics more and more and more. We can help you out at Pleasure Point Computers, keep them on the road, keep them going. Mac prices are probably going to be some of the most incredible prices around, because they might milk it a little bit, but all their machines are made. They're ready to go. They're done. So they don't have to deal with all this stuff of building something in the last month or two. They've got them ready to go. So if you're looking for new computers, Mac might be the way to go, but just keep in mind PC prices are insane right now. And if you do have some memory, maybe worth some stuff. Yeah. Let's see. Anything else here? Oh, yeah, we talked real quick about the Social Security number thing.
Yeah.
So, Doge evidently leaked, or they kept an entire treasure trove of Social Security numbers, 300 million, on an open Cloudflare server. That's where they stored them when they were moving systems around, or whatever Doge said they were doing when they didn't, whatever. But anyway, so 300 million people might, because I think the population of the United States is 375 million, something like that, 380 million, something like that. And so 300 million people or so, a small majority, might have to get brand new Social Security numbers because of a security breach. This is insane. I can't believe I'm reading some of this stuff. This is just nuts. Wasn't just Social Security numbers. It may also have included names, date of births, addresses, bank and credit card details, tax records, medical info, and more. Always love that, and more at the end there. So, again, just keep your head, keep your mind. And right now is a very weird time. There are scams. There are things going around. People asking for your data. People taking your data. People trying to ask you for data that you don't need to give them. So all these systems, all the banks, all these companies are trained for you to be skeptical right now. They are trained for you to go, I don't believe you who you are. I need you to prove to me that you're actually the bank. I need you to actually prove to me that you're HP. I need you to actually prove to me that you're Microsoft. Ask questions. Be a little standoffish. Make sure you're talking to who you think you're talking to. And if you don't think you're talking to them, hang up and call me, and we can figure it out together. All right, Nyanko. Thank you.
That's great advice.
Thank you so much.
There.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I hope to see you next week.
Appreciate you very much too.
All right. Appreciate all our listeners out there.
Oh yeah, our
everybody,
especially,
and all the callers today. So many good calls.
Good calls.
The last thing, actually, we don't really have any time. I had this huge thing about all these different companies, these godfathers of AI leaving their companies and stuff, like Anthropic. The security head of research quit. World is in peril. Anthropic's own security report confirms Claude can tell when it's being tested and adjusts its behavior accordingly. We are living in a crazy time right now, ladies and gentlemen. And so I just want to make sure that everyone out there is being safe. being smart and making sure that I just want to find my emails.
And science fiction is now becoming science fact.
It is so wacky, the amount of this stuff that's going through. I'm not sure where we're going, but it's going to be, we're all going there together.
It's like our kind of the Star Trek technology is here.
It is. So if I missed your call tonight, you can always reach me by email, luigi@pleasurepointcomputers.com. Remember to tune into the Computer Man Show Tuesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. here on 90.7 FM, K-Squid, KSQD. I'd like to thank all my listeners and my callers. Thank you, KSQD, Sandy Stone, Harold Facing, Retro David Kibbick, John Sanders, all Santa Cruz, Nicholas Tesla, the Watts, Mr. Gason, Charles, and of course, the humble Electron. Thank you again, Santa Cruz. I'm your Computer Man here on KSQD Santa Cruz, K-Squid, 90.7 FM, and online at ksqd.org. Stay tuned right here for Be in the Night. I hope you all have a positively charged evening. Until next time.